This is the Jay Pitt Show.
Real estate seems like it's in this kind of weird spot right now.
So, okay.
Because I feel it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, my business is good.
Yeah.
I'm busy. Pendings, new clients, but it just has this different feeling to it right now.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that, Ryan. We have gained share of market every year since 20. And actually probably every year since I've started, now that I think about it. Because we've yet to have a step back year since the creation of the brokerage in terms of volume sold. I kind of feel like I lend more importance to unit sales than most people. We have had a retraction in units in different years, but volume has still grown because prices are increasing and, I don't expect that to change. So I would say we've gained share of the market every year. Our growth has outpaced the growth of the market. So, we continue to gain share. I think the thing to realize for any one real estate agent or any one small real estate company, and we are still small relatively, is it's such a large. So you ever heard the word TAM? The acronym TAM, right? Total addressable market, right? I'm sure you guys discussed that in your startup days, right? Total addressable market is essentially the measure of any market and its total value. In Louisville, we're going to say it's $10 billion a year in real estate sales in the greater Louisville area. That's total sales volume. Okay. You take 3% of that, you're talking about $300 million in real estate commissions earned by every real estate brokerage in town that does business in this market. That is a monster share of revenue as far as it pertains to me as a small business owner. I have to just get a fraction, very small fraction of that to live a great life, right? For our agents to live great lives, to achieve their goals, to feed their families, but not just feed their families, but grow and progress and things like that. So I think the thing to remember is we're in an industry where such a small percentage share of the market allows you to live a pretty incredible life. And so when you hear the media talking about, the market's down, it's this, it's that. Yeah, okay. But when you understand that there's a massive TAM, massive total addressable market, and the quality of competition on average is quite low. Right. So you have the tails of the curve are very long, right? You have hundreds and hundreds of realtors on that low end of the tail that do 1, 2, 5 transactions that make next to nothing in terms of takeaway of share of market. And if you do 35 deals a year, you're going to live a comfortable life. And it's just not that hard to find 3 people a month to buy a house from you, on average. I can't even remember a time. Now, again, I started selling real estate full time in January of 2008. Probably 8 or 9 months prior to the biggest mortgage meltdown, financial crisis that has been of my lifetime. You know what I mean? The beginning of COVID sucked, but it was nothing compared to August and September of 2008 when Bear Stearns and AIG and these massive investment houses just absolutely cratered and dragged down the world economy with it, right? You know what I mean? You were pretty young then, so I don't know how much you remember it. You probably remember it, but you were a kid. You were in school, right? Living at home with mom and dad. And I was barely out of my parents' house. I was, 3 years removed from college graduation, probably, and had next to no bills, no kids. I had bought my first house. But compared to where I am today, I didn't have a ton of risk. All I knew to do was go to work. But even then, Ryan, I don't ever remember only having 3 houses under contract at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes you 30 to 45 days to close a deal?
Yeah.
So technically, so basically, if you have 5 pendings at all times, you're absolutely going to close 35 or 40 deals a year.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you the last time that our business was in that low of a spot. So point being, if you're about being successful, you're a successful human, you've been a successful athlete, you've been a successful student, you've been successful working in another industry, and you come and bring those skills to this industry and work and show up, you're going to be successful, period. So you don't have to have a good market to make a lot of money in real estate. You don't. So the fact that units are off 20% from peak, the fact that volume only went up 3% last year, the fact that listings are now sitting on the market 90 days sometimes, it doesn't mean anything. That was normal before the 2020, 21, 22 run up that we've just seen. It was normal for a listing to sit 90 days. It was normal to get multiple price reductions from a seller before you get a property sold, right? It was normal for there to be a fair amount of expired listings because the agent just didn't get the job done.
I think it's a really hard conversation for agents that started post 2020 that didn't get to. So, I started 2018 and I saw a pretty balanced market where, I would take listings and talk to the people, and, it did take 60, 90 days a lot of times to get something on their contract.
For sure.
And I at least can go to these people now that I'm going to listing appointments with, and depending on the house, you usually know if it's going to sell right away or if you're going to have to wait for the right buyer.
Of course.
And, obviously pricing's important, but even if you price a house perfectly, it might not sell in the first 30, 60 days.
It might not.
But now, I did get to experience it, luckily, where I can tell these people, like, hey, this is what it used to be in 2018, 2019 and prior.
For sure.
And this is how it was when I was working in the beginning. So, like, don't think it's this crazy thing. But people that started after 2020, I think it's a pretty hard conversation for them.
It really is. I agree with that. Well, you're a product of your own environment. You only know what you've experienced. And we talk often about how, there are 87% of the agents that join the industry fail within the 5 years. Well, there are people that are just now 5 years in the business that started in the summer of 2020. And it's all they've ever known. So are they lifers? Probably if they're doing the right things, but they still haven't experienced a balanced real estate market. It's been a seller's market since the day they got their license.
Yeah.
And you're right. And so imagine if they're the professional who, at least is in some way aware that a change may be coming. Imagine the consumer. Imagine the person that bought their first house in 2020 and saw the run up and they have a low rate and now they want to do something different. And it's like, wait a minute. You mean I have to take a 6.5 and pay, twice as much?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So anyway, real estate's in a weird spot. The context in which I told you that earlier was relative to a pretty large kind of marketing endeavor that we're considering. And I'll just say it like this. If you are well capitalized enough right now to take a large step forward in terms of your exposure and your marketing, you might be in position to grab a significant amount of market share behind that, because market share is not earned when the market's good. It's when the market is flat or it's when the market is down, right? When others are retracting, just think about it like this. If somebody's here and you're here and they're pulling back and you're surging, it's just the speed at which you're making up ground is just so much better than when everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
So you'll grab a lot of eyeballs. But again, you have to live in reality. You can't spend money you don't have. So if you're selling right now and you're in a position to invest in your business, you're going to get a higher rate of return on the investment that you put into your business right now than you would have in 2021.
Yeah. I was going to say, as much as I would love to see a fast-paced environment again, I almost think we need to sit here for 2-3 years. That way the general public's perception of the real estate industry starts to shift again, because it seems like everybody still just remembers 2020 through 2023
Yeah.
2024 even, and people are just like, I think people are now getting a little more used to the rates that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, they've been right here for 18 months now.
Yeah. Or maybe
2
longer.
years long,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. And
Ryan, do you remember all the videos I used to, all the market is not crashing videos I used
oh
to
yeah,
do? Like, I know Hannah remembers because it felt like every single video there was some sort of the market is not crashing kind of commentary. And it's just, I hate to take the victory lap, but I've just been proven right time and time and time again. These alarmists that want you to believe that the market is crashing, they're also the same people that hate real estate agents, that have been saying real estate agents are obsolete or going away for like 20 years now. I mean, it's just not going to happen, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but the market has not crashed. We have historic supply demand imbalance. Okay, demand, yes, it's come down. Supply, yes, it's gone up. But it's going to take more than 12 months of slow sales, which is not even slow.
the shitty home supply's gone up.
Shit home supply has gone up big time. Good home supply is still as low as it's ever been.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to take a lot more time, okay, many more years of slow sales, even though they're not slow historically, slow sales, 60, 90-day on market sales, for there even to put a dent in supply demand disparity. Like, there is so much more demand than there is supply. It's not even funny. Okay. You can look at that by just a simple absorption rate calculation. Yes, it's doubled. Yes, absorption rate has doubled. It has gone from 30 days to 60 days on average, but that's still a seller's market. I don't know. Anyway, so all that aside, I don't see myself doing the market is not crashing videos anytime soon again, because I just got tired of saying it. And I feel I don't know, maybe we should stitch those and remind people that I was right. Maybe we should do that. But, there's still the trolls and the haters in all my comments. Put out a video the other day about Clear Cooperation, and I got a bunch of trolls in my comments. But it is what it is, right? The truth, Ryan, is that I've been following this industry since I was a child, before I even realized what I was doing. And it just it's so simple. It's just so linear and simple.